Hi, Gerry here, and this is day 60 of A Course in Miracles and the last review day. So, tomorrow it's going to be, day 61 is going to be a new lesson. But for today, I reviewed lessons 46 to 50. And lessons 46, 47, and 48 all had a lot to do with the idea of forgiveness. 46 was, God is the love in which I forgive. 47, God is the strength in which I trust. And 48, there is nothing to fear. And I thought a lot about this concept of forgiveness. You know, I don't really have any trouble forgiving people in my life. One of the things that it said for day 46, God does not forgive because God has never condemned. Yet forgiveness is the means by which I will recognize my innocence. It is the reflection of God's love on earth. It brings me near enough to heaven, etc. And then God is the strength in which I trust was the strength of God in me helps me to forgive. As I begin to see, I recognize God's reflection on earth. I forgive all things because I feel God's strength in me. And I remember the love I have forgotten, which has not forgotten me. You know, I think I mentioned before that one of the courses I teach, it's called Social Justice 12 for grade 12 students. But we focus a lot on genocide. And I think one of the reasons why I study that is because it's the worst that humanity has to offer. And I don't have an issue forgiving for things in my life, but I do find it challenging to forgive these horrendous crimes against humanity. You know, that doesn't mean that I seek vengeance. In fact, I learn a lot about forgiveness in my readings on genocide. And one piece really stands out, and that is a book by Immaculée Ilibagiza, who is a Tutsi survivor of the Rwandan genocide. The book I'm referring to is called Left to Tell. And there's the most moving, I think I almost dropped the book when I read this. Definitely my chin dropped when I read this. But there's a scene toward the end of the book. I don't mean to be a spoiler. It is an amazing book, so I would really encourage you to read it. But there's a scene toward the end of the book where she confronts the man. She goes to the prison, because after the genocide's over, she goes to the prison and confronts the man who killed a couple of members of her family and who tried to kill her. And she meets him and she says, I forgive you. And it's just so powerful. She is an amazing person. But isn't that what we're all called to? And really, isn't Immaculée a reflection of the love of God for the world? Like, that's just so powerful, so moving, and I don't know, I'm very inspired by that. But I would never speak for somebody who's been through that kind of horrendous crime. But to see what Immaculée did with regard to that is just so incredibly moving. Days 49 and 50 were beautiful as well. God's voice speaks to me all through the day, and I am sustained by the love of God. Those were just beautiful ideas which I repeated to myself over and over as I was doing those exercises, and they're just beautiful. What a beautiful idea to reflect on. And I think I've talked enough for today, but thank you so much for joining me on day 60. Like I said, the last review day. But it was really powerful to go through these lessons again, because, you know, you kind of do them and then you go on to the next lesson. And going back over them again, I learn a lot and reflect a lot. And I've come to a deeper understanding as I move on. So it's kind of cool to look back at things with that better understanding. And I'm really, really looking forward to day 61, to going into some new lessons. So thank you so much for joining me. May God bless you abundantly, and I look forward to our conversation tomorrow. Peace be with you.